Right side of your screen, the 99 you see there. That is 6th, 7th, and 8th, and Harvick in the 29 car in 8th position. You see him trying to make a move inside of the 5 car of Kyle Busch, who's still up high in the outside group.
Looked like he was scraping the wall down the straightaway, and he's still running up the racetrack in the corners, leaving that bottom open for Kevin Harvick.
You know, all year long he feels real comfortable on top of the racetrack, and he's got himself working that top lane in like you saw last night in the Busch race here at Richmond, and he just loves it up there. And, you know, you're not going to get him trapped on the bottom, so he just went to the top, and he gets a lot of momentum up there also.
Looks like Harvick's got a good car here early.
Ryan Newman trying to get back underneath the 11 car. Denny Hamlin, that's for 2nd position. These cars are about a second behind the leader, Jeff Gordon. Allen.
The Doc, Denny Hamlin in that 11 has extra motivation to win tonight's race. Denny is from Chesterfield, Virginia, just down the road from Richmond. He says it wasn't all that long ago. He was a spectator in the stands watching races here. He said every driver has a place that's more special to him than any other. For Tony Stewart, it's Indianapolis. For me, it's Richmond. He wants to win here badly tonight, especially being locked into the chase and having no points to worry about.
Talking about the Virginia boys, you remember you got the Burton boys. Here's Denny Hamlin, currently 3rd. Jeff Burton in 10th spot. Elliott Sadler, who's from Emporia, Virginia, in 12th position. Speaking of Elliott Sadler in the 19, that's him up high. The 17 of Kenseth and the 2 of Kurt Busch, as these cars are battling for a position in the top 10 and 12th position, 12th, 13th, and 14th.
You know, I was taking a look at Kurt Busch's car. The front end looks like it's rolling a lot on that car. More roll than you possibly need to be. And that front end roll is not what you really want. That's going to make the car real loose. So let's take a look at this. He's up underneath the 19 car Sadler. You see that air dam up, and that really kills him.
Caution on the racetrack for the 2nd time tonight. 15 car Paul Menard has had his troubles, and he will bring out the yellow flag here on lap 23.
Car looks clean. Doesn't look like he's made any contact with anybody or the wall.
You take a look at that action. He just got in real deep in the middle of turn 3 and 4 and just got the thing loose again. I don't believe that the 49 car behind him or the 21er just went by, got in the back of him. It looked like he's got a clean rear bumper. Just another arrow loose situation getting into the corner.
We are at Richmond International Raceway, a sellout crowd of over 112,000. The Chevy Rock and Roll 400. It may be the last regular season race of the year because this is when the chase is decided. We're going to move into the 10-race chase for the Nextel Cup. Under caution, here they come down pit road for the first pit stop of the night. Today, Burns.
Carl Edwards will come in the 99 car. And they're going to make changes on that car. Carl's pretty happy with it, but one thing he's concerned about, brakes. They can't make changes right now. We'll see how that plays its way out. Jamie.
And Jeff Gordon in his pit box, he says he's tight when he picks up the throttle and loose off. They're going to take 4 tires, no adjustment. Skies for your leader. Alan?
Denny Hamlin's crew is going to take a little extra time on the right rear corner of the car to place a spring rubber inside one of the springs for a handling adjustment. That's why the rear tire changer's a little slow coming around the car. They will give up a little track position now to try and help the handling for the long run in the race.
Race off of pit road, first time tonight as they come off. You see Ryan Newman gain the spot. Juan Pablo Montoya up 9 positions. Tony Stewart lost 6 spots. The 11 car lost 5. You heard they put that spring rubber in the right rear to make an adjustment. We are under caution here for the 2nd time already tonight. The rear tire changer for Martin Truex, Coleman Dollarhide, getting it done. Back with more after these messages and a word from our ABC station. Welcome back to Richmond International Raceway. Just underway again on the green, and Casey Mears becomes the 2nd Hendrick Motorsports driver to lead tonight after Jeff Gordon led the first 25 laps.
When Ryan Newman in the last pit stop, he took on 2 tires, so it's yet to be seen how that's going to work. We've been waiting for that one to happen for a while. A lot of teams want to see 2 or 4 what's going to work here tonight at Richmond.
One of the drivers we thought might be a factor tonight is in the garage area. Mike?
We certainly thought that Greg Biffle had a shot at contending for the win tonight, but that's not the case. Involved in the early incident, what exactly happened?
I really don't know. You know, it's unfortunate. you start in the back with all the donkeys, and they're for sure to cause a wreck in the first 10 laps of the race. That's why they're back there, and it's unfortunate. I know that maybe the car involved was the car that took us out last Richmond race, so I don't know, unfortunate for us. We had a good race car, just qualified badly.
Looks like it took a pretty heavy hit in the right rear. How bad's the damage?
Well, it bent the axle housing, bent the rear truck arms, and the axle housing's bent. They can't get the axles out, so we're going to replace all the rear suspension from the middle of the car back because everything's bent.
And team's not giving up, though, Doc. They're going to work here on the 16 car, trying to get them back in the race before the end of the evening.
Thank you, Mike. They'll try to get that car back on the racetrack. There's Ben Harvick. See him trying to make a move inside of David Gilliland. That is for the 5th position.
Well, Harvick needs to run a really good race. He's got to keep himself out of trouble. And sometimes it's just a lot easier to do that by staying up front. And that's what he's doing. You don't want to get in a problem that happened to Greg Biffle.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing a good job of staying out front. He's got a big gap on these guys. And he's not putting his car in any real tight spots. At the same time, he's running hard.
3 abreast, Denny Hamlin all the way on the inside of the racetrack. He's inside of Juan Pablo Montoya in the 42 car. We heard him say they put a spring rubber in the rear for Hamlin. What are they trying to correct there?
Well, right now, if they put a spring rubber in the right rear, they're trying to get the car to turn the front end better. Just get the front end to stick better.
Jimmy Johnson on the move. He was the pole sitter. Still has yet to lead a lap. He went into turn 3 and had the splitter bouncing off the racetrack. Jammed on the brakes and was passed by his teammate, Jeff Gordon, on the very first lap of the race. Johnson now moving back up to 3rd position. So it's Newman, Jeff Gordon, and Jimmy Johnson as you watch this battle back for 4th, and Harvick goes sailing by Casey Mears.
Well, yesterday in practice, Harvick had a really good car. That thing was working on the bottom of the track, in the middle, on the top. And talking to him, he was just really excited about how his car was running.
This is just one of those tracks that Kevin Harvick has always performed well at. Even with this new car, it seems like he's not lost a beat here. It's just a track he really loves.
You've seen him have so much luck in the Busch Series here at Richmond, Virginia Raceway, and he just loves this track. And he's another guy that's not afraid to run that car dead up on top of the wall.
Harvick has won 4 times in a NASCAR Busch car. He won this race a year ago in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. Where is Dale Earnhardt Jr.? Well, after the pit stops, he finds himself in the back of the pack. Earnhardt Jr. now being shown in 20th position.
Take a look at this. It looks like he had the pits a little sideways, had to stop. And he's not really in a position where he wants to be because the 10 car in front of him has got his rear of a car kind of hung out a little bit. When Dale gets ready to drop this jack, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for him to get out of there. He's got to stop and back up, and when he does that, that just really kills yourself.
From Jackman Brian Hootie Chase as they service the car. You see that Hootie's watching and he realizes they got to back the car up. Earnhardt lost about 4 or 5 cars on pit road, went by him while he was trying to back up and get back around the 10 car of Scott Briggs. Jamie.
Just bad luck for that 8 Dr. team. Pointed about what happened, obviously, but they're trying to talk to each other, calm each other down, and say it's going to be a long race. Just keep your eyes on the plan, and their plan is to lead laps and win this race tonight.
Riding along with our Wrangler onboard telemetry, you can see what's going on there with Dale Earnhardt Jr. as he's trying to just sail back through the field and work some of this traffic.
Well, guys, right now he really can't give the car its full potential because he's locked up in the traffic. You'd see the RPMs higher getting down into turn 1 if he could not be in all that traffic.
Kevin Harvick, so much for trying to be ginger and tiptoe early on until some cars fall out. He is just, if you were his crew chief, Andy, would you like this move? I mean, he's being as aggressive as I've seen him all year long.
I would like to see the car running fast like it is, but I haven't seen him put it in a position yet that scares me. In other words, putting it 3 wide or racing in some positions that would really scare me. I don't mind seeing him run fast. I just don't want to see him in any real tight spot.
Well, if the car will run fast by itself and he doesn't have to push it or overdrive the car to get it to go fast, that's 2 different things right there, guys. And right now, it looks like this car is running fast easy.
It gives him a lot of options when you got a fast car.
Kevin Harvick on his way to the front and maybe on his way to the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup. Hamlin, Johnson, Harvick, Jeff Gordon, and of course, how about this guy trying to get in the chase? Back in a moment. Back at Richmond International Raceway, beautiful aerial shots from high above this sellout crowd, courtesy of our good friends at Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for over 50 years. Well, Monday Night Football kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern time with a doubleheader. First, it's Chad Johnson and the Bengals looking to make a statement against the rough-and-tumble defense of the Baltimore Ravens. Then Heisman winner Matt Leinart and the Arizona Cardinals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Are you ready for some football? Mike Tirico and company coming up on Monday night. Ryan Newman has now led 21 laps. Our early leader was Jeff Gordon. He led the first 25 laps, but there may be some issues brewing in the 24 car. Jamie?
Well, Doc, Jeff Gordon, when he came into his pit box, he was a little sluggish off, and he told his crew chief, Steve McCart, why.
We can let him take two. We're not going to mess with that. Not this road. I made that mistake in Michigan. That clutch is kind of funky on those takeoffs, so remind me to get plenty of revs on the takeoff.
So a little teamwork just asking for Steve McCart to remind him he needs to keep those revs up. Steve McCart told me their car is short on speed, that they need longer runs. So having a clutch issue is not going to help matters in the short run, guys.
Well, right now he's not having a clutch problem on the racetrack, and what he's talking about is he gets ready to leave the pit area. If he doesn't slip the clutch enough and rev the motor up enough, it'll kill the engine. He's got to refire it and get going again, and that really kills a lot of time.
And the other thing we heard him say, I think they were talking about maybe taking two tires, and they said they didn't want to do that either because they tried that at Michigan.
The good news for Jeff Gordon is he's locked in the chase. He's got 4 wins. He's going to be okay, but he wants to get this win because it's all about getting the top seed. And right now, his teammate Jimmy Johnson with 5 wins will have 10 more points when the chase really begins next week at New Hampshire.
I tell you, be in a great position to have 5 wins like Jimmy Johnson. Just be worried about it getting a little bit more rather than Dale Earnhardt Jr. back there trying to get in.
Not many races like this where you don't have really any pressure, you know, to just score points. You can go out there and just run the car hard. It's not like it's almost like an all-star race where you just go out there and just run for the win.
Right behind Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, you see right there, he's about 1/10 of a second faster than anybody in the field right now. Fastest car in the field right now. Dave?
And he's feeling pretty good about that race car, too. They made just a slight air pressure adjustment on that race car on the first stop. And there doesn't appear to be a braking issue per se, but Carl felt like maybe he needed to conserve his brakes during this race. Of course, he's being reminded constantly by his crew it's a top of the show, and so Carl Edwards being gingerly tapping those brakes into the corner, trying not to overuse them.
Yeah, Dave, I've seen a lot of red rotors early in the race here, and that's what I kind of suspect these guys are talking about. We see it right there, that rotor glowing red. The crew chiefs can see this from the pit box, and I'm sure they're telling their drivers too, you know, just maybe take it easy on the brake pedal a little bit, maybe back off the gas just a little early.
This reminds me of the car tomorrow races we saw at Watkins Glen where on the road course there was a ton of brake issues. And it's because this car doesn't have much downforce. They can't push on the pedal as hard as they want.
It doesn't have near the downforce of the old car, and it also has a higher center of gravity. That makes roll a lot more, so you get you have some more issues with stopping the car.
For more on Blaze, let's go down to our Chevy cutaway car and Tim Brewer.
Hey, Jerry, the only thing we can do is basically manipulate the brake bias in the car. And how we're going to do that is we're going to get you a good reading on what we have right here illustrated. We're going to have 500 pounds on the front, about 350 in the rear. What we're going to do, we're going to manipulate the knob on the dash that we have right here. And then we're going to go back, take a reading again. We got up to the 425 right there right now, and that's how we manipulate it in the pit area before the race. We register the knob, therefore when the crew chief hollers, you got too much brake in the front, we can transfer it to the rear, therefore it's going to make the crew chief happier as well as the driver. Jerry?
Well, Tim, that explains how the drivers can adjust it. But what does that mean to the drivers as far as the crew chief is concerned?
Well, that's the only knob that we give the driver, the only adjustment he has inside the car. And we sometimes don't even trust him with that. But what he can do is he can change that balance a little bit, and it will change the way the car handles.
Scott Riggs in the caution being shown for the 3rd time tonight. Scott Riggs in the 10 car has come into contact with the concrete on the outside here at Richmond.
Blew it right front, guys.
That's not a good sign there. He said he blew a right front tire.
When you see that much damage on the right front, generally you just don't slide up into it and cause that much damage. So he must have really been getting after it when that tire blew, because that really tore the right front corner off that car. Brad?